Hey, pure soul and beautiful people, welcome to the Stoic End. 10 unspoken signs of secret attraction. Have you ever felt it? That magnetic pull when someone enters the room? The kind of tension that speaks louder than words ever could? The glance that lingers too long? The quick smile they try to hide? The silence that somehow feels loud when they're near? It's unspoken, but undeniable. No one admits it. No one says it. But you feel it. Deep down, you know there's something there. This is where secret attraction lives. Not in big declarations or obvious flirtation, but in the quiet tension, the subtle shifts, the energy that buzzes between two people pretending nothing's happening. But here's what matters most. Recognizing secret attraction isn't about chasing anyone. It's not about becoming obsessed with decoding every look or message. It's about standing tall in your self-worth and learning how to observe without losing yourself. The moment you need someone to validate your worth, you've already handed your power away. The Stoics taught us something powerful, that freedom, emotional freedom, is only possible when you no longer depend on others to feel valuable. As Epictetus once said, "He who is not master of himself is not free." That means you don't chase signals, you don't beg for attention, and you don't lose sleep over silence. You see the signs, you stay grounded, and you let life reveal what's real. Most people want to be chosen so badly they ignore their own instincts. But not you. You're here to become someone so in control of your emotions that even attraction doesn't shake your peace. You're here to learn how to recognize desire without becoming desperate. Because when you move like someone who already knows their value, you stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Do I even want this energy in my life?" Today, I'm going to break down 10 unspoken signs that someone is secretly attracted to you, and how to handle that awareness with the emotional strength of a Stoic. Not with games, not with ego, but with presence, poise, and power. If you're ready to stop overthinking and start trusting the energy, I want you to drop this in the comments right now. I trust the energy, not just the words. Because when you master your emotions, you master the moment. Let's begin. Number 1, their eye contact lingers. It's one of the oldest, purest signs of attraction, and also one of the hardest to fake. When someone is secretly drawn to you, they'll hold your gaze just a little longer than necessary. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's just a pause, a hesitation, a moment where their eyes stay locked on yours, searching, softening, or even nervously darting away right after. That moment is magnetic. It's primal. But here's where you rise above the noise. You don't take that lingering look as permission to give your soul away. You don't romanticize it or build fantasies around it. You observe calmly, because real confidence is knowing your presence is powerful without needing to prove it. The Stoics teach us that inner peace comes from mastering our reactions, not chasing validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." So when that look comes, and you'll know when it does, don't melt, don't chase, and don't break your own gaze to seek approval. Hold steady, stay composed. Be a mirror, not a magnet. When you stay centered in your own energy, people feel it. And those who are truly interested will be drawn to it without you having to do a thing. Most people crumble under attention. They either overthink it or overinvest in it. But the Stoic way is different. It's grounded, silent power. It's the quiet confidence that doesn't need to be loud to be felt. When someone lingers in your gaze, see it for what it is, an unspoken signal, not a promise, not a guarantee, just awareness. You're not here to chase hints. You're here to observe the truth and act from power. You know who you are. You know what you offer. And you don't have to reach for anyone to prove your worth. You are the energy. You are the one who holds the room without speaking. And that eye contact, it's just confirmation. If you're ready to stand in that energy, calm, strong, magnetic, drop this in the comments right now. My energy attracts. I do not chase. Because when you know your value, the world can't help but notice. Number 2, they mirror you without realizing it. You lean back, they lean back. You touch your hair. Seconds later, they do the same. You shift your posture. They subconsciously adjust to match. This isn't coincidence. It's subconscious mirroring, and it's one of the clearest, most instinctive signs of attraction. But here's the thing. True power lies in noticing, not reacting. Most people see someone mirroring them and immediately get excited. They start overanalyzing, overperforming, trying harder to be liked. But that's not the Stoic path. The Stoic doesn't act for approval. The Stoic simply is. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, stop performing, start being. If someone is mirroring you, it means your presence is impacting them. Let that be enough. You don't have to change who you are. You don't need to get louder, funnier, or more charming. You're not a performer. You're the standard. When you are fully grounded in your authenticity, others will align with you without even knowing why. That's real attraction. That's real power. The moment you start performing to keep that attention, you hand away your self-worth. And let me be clear, attraction is not an invitation to abandon your boundaries. Let them mirror you, but don't mirror their inconsistency. Let them reflect your energy, but don't shrink to match theirs. Your only job is to be solid in who you are, consistent, calm, confident. The Stoics believe the highest good is virtue, and part of that is being true to your character regardless of who's watching. So when you notice they're matching your energy, don't get giddy, get grounded. Smile, breathe, observe. You are enough exactly as you are. You don't need to perform to be wanted. You don't need to shrink to be accepted. And you don't need to mold yourself to keep someone intrigued. They're aligning with your energy because it's powerful. Let it stay that way. If you're ready to be unapologetically you and let the world adjust, drop this in the comments right now. I am enough exactly as I am, because confidence isn't loud, it's steady. And when you live from that place, the right people can't help but mirror it. Number 3, their energy shifts when you're around. You walk into the room and suddenly they sit up straighter. Their tone changes. Their words get more intentional. Maybe they start cracking more jokes, fidgeting a little, or even acting cooler than usual. That's not your imagination. That's attraction in real time. It's an unspoken shift in energy, the kind of magnetic response that can't be faked. But here's the key. Don't let it define you. Their reaction is not your worth. Their nervous smile, their extra enthusiasm. It's not a trophy. It's simply a reflection of your presence. And just like the Stoics taught, your power lies not in being admired, but in being unmoved by admiration. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Attraction is an outside event. It's external. You can't and shouldn't control how others react to you. What you can control is how you carry yourself regardless of their energy. Do they light up when you're near? Great. But don't light your self-worth on fire just to keep that reaction going. Because the moment your mood starts depending on their response, you've handed them emotional control. That's not power. That's surrender. Stoicism teaches you to observe without attachment, to enjoy connection without needing it, to appreciate attention without being consumed by it. So yes, they feel your presence, but your job is to stay rooted, grounded, calm. While their energy is shifting, yours stays steady. That's how you separate confidence from performance. When someone is attracted to you, their behavior might become unpredictable, but yours shouldn't. You're not here to entertain. You're here to exist in truth. That's rare, and that's magnetic. If you're someone who used to overanalyze every little shift, every nervous laugh, every extra joke, stop. Take your power back. Notice the energy shift, then return to your center. That's where your strength is. And if you're ready to stop chasing reactions and start living in your truth, I want you to drop this in the comments right now. I observe without needing approval, because the moment you stop needing them to feel something is the moment they start feeling everything. Number 4, they remember small details. They remember your favorite coffee order. They bring up that random story you told once in passing. They recall the name of your childhood pet or that offhand dream you casually mentioned. At first it seems small, but it's not. It's a signal. One of the clearest signs of secret attraction, because in a world flooded with distraction, remembering details means they're listening. Not just hearing, but truly paying attention. And attention, my friend, is affection in disguise. We often think attraction is about grand gestures or bold declarations. But the Stoics would disagree. Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking." That includes the way someone thinks of you. When someone stores the smallest details of your world in their mind, that's not casual. That's connection. But here's the Stoic truth. Don't let their attention become your addiction. Yes, it feels good to be remembered. Yes, it's affirming to be seen. But that cannot be the foundation of your worth. Because the real power is not in being remembered. It's in knowing you are always worthy of it. You don't have to earn that kind of attention. You don't have to beg for it, perform for it, or mold yourself into something more likable. When someone is genuinely drawn to you, they remember you naturally. Not because you tried harder, but because you were authentic. That's what leaves an imprint. So here's your power move. Stay gracious, stay confident, but don't become attached to their validation. If they remember, let it warm you, but never let it define you. Your value is not measured by how often others think of you. It's measured by how deeply you know your own worth. Let them remember the coffee, the stories, the laughter. But you remember this. You don't need to be unforgettable to be valuable. You already are. If you're ready to stop shrinking for attention and start standing tall in your truth, drop this in the comments right now. I am seen. I am memorable. Because when you walk in your authenticity, the right people won't just remember you. They won't forget you. Number 5, they find reasons to be near you. There's a quiet kind of magnetism that doesn't need words. It simply shows up, again and again. You'll notice it in the way they somehow always end up near you. They linger after everyone else has left. They just happen to show up at the cafe you frequent. They offer to help you with something small. They join events because it sounded interesting. But really, they knew you'd be there. Attraction doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it shows itself through intentional presence. The Stoics believed that our actions reveal our desires more truthfully than our words ever could. Seneca once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And when someone's thoughts are filled with you, their actions start to reflect that, whether they admit it or not. But here's the Stoic mindset shift. Don't take their presence as your validation. Observe it, yes, but do not let it dictate your worth. People are drawn to light. They're drawn to centered energy, grounded confidence, calm power. And when you're rooted in who you are, when you are aligned, peaceful, and present, people will naturally gravitate toward that energy. It's not about chasing them. It's about becoming the kind of person others are drawn to, without force, without fear. Still, you must remain emotionally sovereign. Just because someone is near you doesn't mean they deserve full access to your heart. Proximity isn't always purity, and not everyone close to you has the intention to love you right. That's where your discernment must rise. Stay aware. Be flattered, yes, but don't be fooled. Stoicism teaches us not to overvalue fleeting moments or surface-level attention. It teaches us to look deeper and to remain grounded regardless of what others do. So if someone is showing up in your space again and again, recognize the possibility. But don't obsess over it. Stay focused on your growth, your peace, your purpose. If the connection is real, it will unfold naturally, without desperation, without confusion. And if you're in a season where you feel others are drawn to your energy, drop this powerful truth in the comments. I attract what aligns with me effortlessly. You don't chase, you elevate. Number 6, they get jealous subtly. Watch closely, not with desperation, but with calm awareness. Sometimes when you casually mention someone else's name, or when someone pays you attention in a room, their whole energy shifts. Maybe it's a slightly sarcastic comment. Maybe their tone tightens. Maybe they suddenly get quieter. Jealousy doesn't always show up with fireworks. It can whisper. And those whispers, if you're tuned in, reveal a lot. Now let's be clear. Jealousy isn't proof of love. It's proof of emotional investment. There's a difference. It doesn't mean they're ready, healthy, or right for you. It simply means something about you affects them deeply. That's flattering, but not necessarily fulfilling. This is where Stoic wisdom steps in. The Stoics would never advise you to chase someone's emotional reactions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That means even if you see someone squirm when your name comes up in another's mouth, you don't react. You observe. You stay grounded. You keep your emotional power, because nothing is more magnetic than that. When you see subtle jealousy, it's easy to let your ego swell. But don't let attention distract you from intention. Ask yourself, are they showing genuine care or just fear of losing access to you? Jealousy can spark from insecurity, not love. The goal isn't to provoke it or feed it. The goal is to stay so rooted in your own emotional clarity that nothing sways your peace. If someone's emotions shift at the idea of you with someone else, yes, they feel something. But that doesn't mean you owe them anything. Your job isn't to shrink your light to keep them calm. Your job is to stand tall in your worth and keep walking in alignment with your values. The Stoic path teaches you this. Don't be a puppet to someone's unspoken feelings. Be the master of your own. And if you're committed to holding your peace no matter what storms rise in others, I want you to drop this in the comments. I stay calm, centered, and aware. Because your emotional discipline is your greatest power. Jealousy might shake them, but your silence, your presence, your peace, that's what truly moves people. Number 7, they compliment you indirectly. Sometimes people say everything without saying it directly. Listen closely. They'll compliment your energy, your vibe, or say something like, "There's just something about you." These aren't random words, they're careful signals. They're trying to express attraction without the risk of full vulnerability. That's what makes it so telling. And here's where Stoic self-awareness becomes your advantage. A person who knows their worth doesn't fish for compliments. They recognize them without attachment. They don't overanalyze the meaning, nor do they let praise inflate their ego. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So when someone compliments your presence, your laugh, or your mind without spelling it out, see it for what it is, a cautious form of admiration. Maybe they're afraid of rejection. Maybe they're unsure of your interest. But one thing is clear, you've made an impression, and you didn't have to beg, chase, or overextend to earn it. That's power. Still, don't let compliments become your compass. Your value doesn't rise and fall with someone else's praise. Accept it, appreciate it, but stay grounded in your own self-perception. Remember, when someone recognizing your light doesn't create your light, you were radiant before they noticed. Here's your Stoic strategy. When you receive indirect praise, receive it with grace. A simple smile, a nod. No need to overreact or minimize yourself. This is what emotional strength looks like. Presence without pressure, confidence without arrogance. So many people miss these signs because they're too busy seeking direct validation. But not you. You're learning to read between the lines while staying rooted in your own truth. You're not desperate to be chosen. You already choose yourself every day. And if that's the level of quiet power you're ready to embody, then I want you to comment this now. I receive admiration with quiet confidence. Because when you trust your worth, even the subtlest compliment confirms what you already know. You are seen, respected, and admired. Not because you asked for it, but because your presence speaks louder than words ever could. Number 8, they're quick to support you. You mention a challenge. They offer help. You talk about a goal. They cheer you on. You're struggling, and they're the first to check in. This kind of support isn't loud or dramatic. It's subtle, steady, and deeply revealing. When someone is secretly attracted to you, they won't always say it with words. They'll show it with presence. They'll remember your big day. They'll offer solutions. They'll ask how you're really doing, not just how your day was. That's not just kindness. That's emotional investment. and it's powerful. But here's where the Stoic mindset steps in. Appreciate the support, but never depend on it. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. The people who stand with you are blessings, not lifelines. Their presence is valuable, but your peace must never be attached to their presence. It's easy to mistake helpfulness for obligation, but true strength is knowing you are supported while still standing on your own feet. Don't guilt-trip them for not always being available. Don't start relying on their presence to validate your worth. Their support is a gift, not a crutch. And here's the key. Watch how they show up for you without needing attention or praise. That's real. People reveal their feelings not just in what they say, but in how they invest their time, their energy, and their attention. If someone is consistently there for you, cheering you on, making your life easier, that's not random. That's attraction wrapped in respect. But stay grounded. You don't need to rush the story or force the outcome. Stoicism teaches us to observe, to accept, and to remain steady regardless of how others behave. Love their support, but don't become addicted to it. Let it empower you, not define you. So here's what I want you to drop in the comments if this resonates with you. I am supported, but I stand on my own. Because at the end of the day, you don't need saving, you need strength. And every time someone shows up for you, let it remind you of how far you've come, not how much you need. You are powerful, supported, and fully capable, with or without anyone's help. Number 9, they look for shared moments. They say things like, "You and I are so alike," or "I was just thinking the same thing." They laugh at the same jokes. They pick up on little things you do and find a way to relate. This isn't coincidence. This is a quiet attempt to bond, to feel closer. When someone is secretly attracted to you, they will look for shared ground, not just because it's comforting, but because it creates a sense of us. That's emotional alignment, subtle yet powerful. And the Stoics would tell you this: observe, but don't attach. As Epictetus said, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. The mind can take a moment of resonance and create a whole fantasy around it. One shared opinion and suddenly we believe it's fate. But wisdom demands restraint. So when someone points out your similarities, take it as information, not validation. They may be trying to connect, yes, but your value doesn't rise because someone says, "We're the same." You were already whole before they mirrored you. These shared moments, the Me Too moments, are subtle bridges, a way for them to express interest without risk. They might reference a movie you love, a place you visited, a quote you shared. Why? Because shared values and experiences build connection. And attraction often begins in the mind, not the body. But here's the self-empowered truth. Whether someone mirrors your energy or not, you are already aligned with the right frequency. You don't need to twist or perform to match anyone else. The right person will naturally echo your energy, not force it. So the next time someone highlights a similarity, smile, but stay grounded. Enjoy the connection, but keep your identity intact. Because Stoic strength is knowing who you are, no matter who notices. And if you feel this truth deep in your soul, I want you to drop this in the comments right now. I align naturally with the right energy. Let that affirmation remind you. Real alignment isn't chased, it's recognized. And when two energies genuinely connect, you won't have to question it. You'll feel it. Calm, clear, powerful. Because attraction that's real doesn't create confusion, it creates clarity. Number 10, their silence says everything. Sometimes the loudest emotion is the one that's never spoken. They pause, they hesitate, they hold back. Not because there's nothing there, but because there's too much. Silence isn't always emptiness. It's often full of what they can't say: fear, desire, vulnerability. When someone is secretly attracted to you, their silence can carry more truth than any compliment. But here's the Stoic wisdom. Don't confuse silence with commitment. Learn to listen to it, but never get trapped in it. As Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. The Stoics didn't speak unless their words were necessary. Sometimes people feel more than they can express. And in that silence, their restraint becomes the loudest form of communication. That glance that lingers too long, that quick look away, that deep breath before walking past you. It's all energy, all signal. But the question is, how do you respond? You don't chase it. You don't obsess over it. You honor it, and you stay centered. Because your emotional power comes from knowing that attraction, real or unspoken, doesn't define your worth. Silence is a reflection of them, not of you. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're unsure. Maybe they care more than they're ready to admit. But you don't wait for someone to find the courage to choose you. You already chose yourself. If their silence speaks, you listen. But you don't build fantasies around it. You don't fill in the blanks with dreams. You stay rooted, calm, wise. Because self-respect means moving forward even when you don't get closure. And if their feelings are real, time, truth, and action will reveal it. Until then, stay grounded in your power. Be like the Stoics. Feel deeply, but move with discipline. So if you've ever been left wondering what their silence means, I want you to drop this in the comments right now. I listen to silence, and I trust the truth it reveals. Let that be your reminder. You don't chase hidden emotions. You rise above them, because silence may be powerful, but your self-worth is louder. Now you know, attraction doesn't always come with loud declarations. Sometimes it's hidden in the quiet, the subtle, the unspoken. But remember, your power isn't in being wanted. It's in knowing your worth, even when no one says a word. If this video helped you see things clearer, hit that like button, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and emotional mastery, and drop your favorite sign in the comments below. And don't forget, your presence is powerful. Never beg to be noticed.